Welcome back. Saturday night. All right, so this is the first time I've done this. There you go. So this is what we were building up towards. Is the idea that, hey, what if the jerseys were double decker and they could be in the background of videos? So if I wasn't gonna have a whiteboard, I could turn the camera around, or in this case, take my studio light, turn it around, camera turned around as well as the computer, and we're all set. And of course, the drawback is lack of cats. But Shadow's already looking for a way to come over here, so I guarantee there'll be a way for the cats. I may end up having some kind of a stand here. The only thing is, of course, one of the reasons I did this is that we've had a problem with the rack I had on this side. Bear was using the stand, which is right here, this Kallax, which now has a printer on it, and the Stanley Cup, and my little mini fridge, and a Bobby Orr. But yeah, and that Penguins, I'm going to fix that. That was let down because of the shelf that we have up there. See that? And all my Funkos and some Stanley Cups through the years there as well. So yeah, we had Bear coming over here, jumping up on top of the jerseys. She started doing that again, and that's been a problem through the years. That cats will, well, not cats, just Bear will decide I'm going to climb on top. She's already been trying to figure out how to get in here, which we're not going to allow. And then I want to clarify too. I've had people asking, how did you do this? Like, why would you set it up so you have Toronto, Anaheim, Boston with Chilliwack here, and Vegas, and why would you do it this way? So I don't have the same number of every team, right? In fact, I took Columbus out of here because it was too squashed in there, and now I've got more room. And I've got my Seattle sweater in here too. But the reason that I did it the way that I did it is because I don't have the same amount of every team. So for some teams, I knew I have a lot, like Dallas, Vancouver, Boston. Obviously, I'm going to have a lot of those jerseys. So I made sure I got those done first because I knew there was a lot of them. So I'm like, I want to do Dallas, Boston, and Vancouver first because then I can get those racks out of here. The racks are all gone. I am so happy the racks are gone. But because it was getting to the point where I really couldn't move around in here, it was starting to feel like in the old house, and it shouldn't. That was really not the point of us getting into this house 2.5 years ago. So that had to change. And these units, Yvonne actually got these for our bedroom. She got them in our closet because the system they had in that closet was just not good. It was it was really really bad. It started falling off the wall because, as it turns out, it wasn't anchored properly. So she went to IKEA and found these for cheap. And the nice thing with this set is you can customize it. So you basically go on their site. They're called Ardal, Aurdal. If I'm butchering the name, I apologize. I butcher names of everything Swedish in the store, and all I could think of when I was there this time was, man, if Lars could hear me now, just me making up what the words mean and just saying them wrong on purpose. But these, you can basically go on their website and design it, and it will tell you, here's the pieces you need and here's how much it's going to cost. So before we even went there, we knew how much we were getting, how much it was going to cost, and it was a very nice setup that we had for this. And again, means we've got one here, one down here, and I think it looks more professional than in the background, right? So as much as there are those who will say, oh, I wish you had a green screen or did this and that, I think this is better than a green screen. Now, eagle-eyed viewers, yes, this is actually a Kevin Hatcher jersey. I haven't worn this yet. I actually got this from Full Moon Jerseys on eBay, and when I go through and I eventually do a jersey countdown, then I'll be using I'll be letting you guys know where I got the jerseys from as well. There are also other jerseys I've had for video reasons where I'll buy them and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to do a video on something different with this one that I want to talk about. And then because of the fact that it was so hard for me to access the jerseys in the back, I would just kind of give up on it. I'd be like, yeah, I can't. And I had a lot of nights where I would tell Yvonne, I love the setup. I love having all of it. But it's just, I need a bigger room. So this is the solution to not being able to get a bigger room. This is the solution to not being able to have that big studio space that ideally I would have, but working out of my home is fun as well. And I did the video of kind of showing where everything was, not as a flex. And I know people say, "Oh, it's a flex." It's not a flex. It's just me saying, "Hey, here's what I've set up, and here's which teams are where." That's it. That's all it is. There's no flex in this. And again, the countdown now is a lot easier to do because it's easy for me to access all the jerseys. I was concerned about doing a countdown and not being able to find them. So I'm going to have to go through and do an inventory. I'm going to have to go through team by team and do an inventory. And again, it's a system that works for me. It's a system that I can remember. So you ask me where a team is in this room, I can find it pretty quick because A, everything's visible, and B, I know where I put them when I was putting them out. And I had a plan for which ones had to go where. Get these done first. I may still move some teams around. I'm not planning on it, but I might. It's possible. But again, I'm really happy that I have these all now readily available to me. Also, eagle-eyed viewers, notice that I got Henderson. I'm going to say this. The silver at the bottom of the white Henderson jersey, that is absolutely fantastic. And there's the tag to prove I haven't worn it yet. I do find it strange. I do find it strange that now for hats, you keep the tag on the top of your hat to keep it fresh. Well, why don't we leave the tags on shirts when we get them then to leave them fresh? It's weird to me. It's just one of those things. I know, I'm old. It's just the way that works. But what this means too is that then I could, potentially be watching something on TV, whether it's a game or whatever it is, while we're doing a live stream. Volume can be down and it's not a problem. Again, the way the room was set up before, it was kind of a nightmare to try to switch things around. Treadmill's right there, but it's not in camera view other than this back end right here. That's the very back of the treadmill, which I try to keep away from the jerseys for obvious reasons. And so I haven't started the countdown yet. That has been by design until we had this done. And again, I don't do that kind of thing. It's just weird because the requests are always there for collection videos and can you show us all your pucks and everything? And there's a part of me that says, yeah, I'd love to do that. And then there's still that part of me too that thinks, no, I'm just not at this point. Because again, I don't know. I mean, it will be a thing once the new power rankings board is finished. I have heard from the guy who's putting together the power rankings board, built out of wood, and that will be used as a display that will hold the pucks. That's the plan. Power rankings will not be done on a board with magnets. It'll be pucks, and all the way from 32 to 1. So I'm kind of stoked about that too. That we have the new set. And now there's going to be a new board for the power rankings as well that should look really, really nice. And it's going to be very enjoyable to be able to do all this. And now we're less than 10 weeks out from the start of next season, which is weird. And so I don't find that I need to do all the historical stuff I normally do during the summer. I normally am knee deep in playlists. The other thing too is that the playlists traditionally don't perform that well in views. So as much as I think about, well, I could do this or that historical playlist, I'm not doing them this summer because it's a shorter summer than usual by about almost a month. And they don't perform well. So if I can find something that's more current, if I'm doing, I've noticed that the 32 team videos seem to do quite well. And it's understandable that if you're hitting a player from every team or almost every team, that you're likely going to attract more interest. So I'm trying to navigate that and have some fun with it. And we'll see how far that goes. For anybody who's wondering that hasn't already heard it from me, I'm not doing top 10 centers and top wingers and top defensemen and top goaltenders. I'm sacrificing that headache for this summer. It's been a very good summer for the channel. It has been a challenging summer for us away from the channel. So there's certain videos that I go, not really. Not this time. No. And that's where I'm at with the top centers and wingers and defensemen and goaltenders, because I always present these lists. It's like today I did the standings. And I didn't do that as like here's what the standings are going to be, or here's who I think are the best. It was kind of this good a guess as any for right now. Sort of like, this is just for this video, I'll just put these teams in this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. I don't care. But immediately, there's of course going to be people who look at the video and go, I can't believe he's got that team in that spot. He actually thinks, no, not necessarily, no. It's just, for the video, I did that. And when we get into season previews, as I've been saying, in about a week, they'll probably change. So I'm not all that concerned. And when I do the season previews this year, I'm intending to use one of the big boards. So the previews, I'm intending to go pretty big with them, which I used to. Back when the channel started, the previews seemed to be a lot more... I don't think they were in depth. I think that I'm better at getting to the point a lot faster than I was when the channel started out. And so maybe that's what it was. But again, I'm intending to go a little bit more in depth with the season previews. And I think that's important because we're going back to a more traditional season after a shortened season with a pause, and then the 56 game season we just came out of. So I think it's more important to look at where teams have been over the last 5 years, what big changes have been made, and likely trends where those teams are concerned. Some are gonna be really good, some are gonna be surprisingly bad, and I'm looking forward to that. So I just thought it would be fun to do a video with the background that we had intended at the beginning of this. And yeah, and then of course I also have the racking on that side of the room, so I can use that as the background as well. And I've still got the racks that we used in this room for the last few years. So if I need to put a rack together and have it in the background for a video, whether it's Jersey Countdown, whether it's a team video, I'm talking about a team's history, and I think, you know what, it'd be really cool to do a history of the Maple Leafs and have a bunch of Leafs jerseys in the background, then I can do that. And so instead of just having me just in front of this part of the racking here, I could actually have it in the background during a video. And that's something I always kind of thought would be fun. So yeah, the only thing that this did was, it means that now wall space for all the pennants and all the fun stuff is kind of at a premium, and it's not what it was. I prefer it this way, but I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do when it comes to some of the pennants, the posters, and some of the other stuff that I have. I still want to use those in the channel somehow. I can't magnet everything, I don't think, but this might be the year where we find out what Shannon can and can't make magnets out of. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I do regret that when we had a meetup a couple weeks back that I didn't bring this along, because my plan was that the team that won the last game would get to carry this around, and that didn't happen. So I apologize for that, for the fact that I forgot it here, but it wasn't in a prominent spot in this room, so I didn't think of it until we were already there. Now it's in a prominent spot in this room. I wouldn't be able to forget it again. So looking forward to that. But yeah, so there you go. I'm looking forward to the rest of the summer. We are about a week out, or about a month out from when we're going to start seeing, you know, teams training camps and getting an idea of who's going to be invited. We're seeing some professional tryouts, but there wasn't really anything of note that took place today. This is the first day since Tampa Bay eliminated Montreal in the finals, spoiler alert, and won their second Stanley Cup, that yeah, it was a very, very quiet day. So we went out and watched some Jets here and there, and not Winnipeg ones, but actually ones in the air, and it was kind of fun. So, all right, there you go. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It means a lot. I do consider, when I do stuff like this, when a big change takes place on the set, I kind of consider that to be like the start of the following season. You know, like you'll see that on TV where they make an upgrade to the set for a talk show for the following year. I kind of consider that to be what this is. That this is kind of like, okay, now it's the new season and we're all set to go. But it's interesting that we don't have kids for a 2-week period. And what do? We remodel parts of the house. That's what happens when you're old, kids. And when, you know, you'd like to go all kinds of places, but border's still closed, so not a lot we can do until that border opens up. So fingers crossed that happens soon. All right, again, thank you guys so much for all your support. None of this would be at all possible without your support, and really looking forward to getting everything all set up for next season. I'm already looking forward to next season and getting it all set up, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. 32 teams, brand new fans. For fans in Seattle, welcome. I know I've seen that the videos of mine get shared. The weird part is, I don't know that I'll ever get used to this. Seeing videos of my of from this channel shared to groups I belong to. I'm like, I can't like that because that just looks egotistical. I don't, how do I react to that? I don't know how I feel. You know, and then you see the comments like, this guy's a jerk. You're like, man, how do I react to that? But anyways, there you go. It is fun to have another fan base coming in, and yeah, I do look forward to going through another year of, for people who are new to the sport, helping them out with figuring some of that stuff out. So thank you guys again. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And again, none of this happens without each and every one of you that watch videos, that comment on videos, that like or dislike. It's all engagement. All of it is engagement, and YouTube pays attention to videos that are getting engagement. I've noticed that myself, that sometimes a video that doesn't have a lot of views gets a lot of comments, and all of a sudden that video gets popular. So there's something there to that. And thank you guys so much for that. I will talk to you again soon.